Attention all fighters. There is an Imperial transport attempting to escape. Find the target and take it out.
Hello and welcome to GamesRadar's video on 7 things you can expect in the new Star Wars Battlefront Beta, which starts today on Xbox Early Access, and it's available for everyone on Wednesday. I'm joined by Executive News Lead Leon Hurley.
Hello.
Leon, you've been and played everything that's going to be in the beta, haven't you? So
yeah,
you're full of facts about it.
I'm full of facts, yeah. It's really good fun. I went to DICE. I played, essentially, the beta that's coming out last week. And yeah, so you get 3 maps, 3 modes, there's 4 guns. There's a ton of like power-ups and vehicles, like too many to list. There's 7 star cards, which is their character class thing. 2 heroes, and obviously 1 great big AT-AT.
Wow, that's quite a bunch of stuff for a beta. And let's break those down a little bit. Tell us about the maps that you played.
So there's 3 maps. There's the Walker Assault on Hoth, which is obviously the classic opening for Return of the Jedi. I think they've shown it off quite a lot. You don't steer the AT-AT. The AT is almost like the timer, and if the rebels have to stop it reaching their generators, the Empire have to protect it. There's Drop Zone, which is the new mode, which is sort of been shown a bit in the survival mode, which I'll get to in a minute. But basically, pods land in a map. You run around, fight to sort of secure them. It's an 8v8. It's a smaller, more intimate thing.
And then, is that on Tatooine?
That is on Sullust, which is the new place that. They mention it briefly in the film, and it's where Nine Nubs, the Lando Calrissian's co-pilot, it's from there. And there's a funny thing at the presentation, like Sigurlina Ingvarsdottir, I can't say her last name, but she was sort of saying, we based it loosely on Iceland, and you load the map up and you look around, it's just Iceland.
Okay.
But yeah, so it's a small volcanic thing, lots of little gullies. It's quite nice, kind of little bottlenecks. And then there's the survival mode, which is the co-op thing. You and 2 friends, horde mode, basically, just stormtroopers come in waves, and you have to survive until you're rescued.
Okay, what world is that one on?
That is on Tatooine.
Okay, yeah, that's the one I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Okay, great. And tell us a little bit about the gear you'll be using in the thing.
You see, it's weird. There were people at the event still going, it's just Battlefield reskinned, and it's like it so isn't, because there's a completely different sort of class system. So there are no classes. There's no engineers, no sniper. You have this sort of thing called star cards, and you all have a basic gun. So you pick like classic sort of. There's a stormtrooper gun. There's a kind of a rebel pistol. There's a rebel rifle, and there's a kind of a heavy blaster. It's like a machine gun. Yeah. You have these star cards that give you more gear. So there's things like thermal detonators. That's your grenade. There's a shield. There's a jump pack, which is excellent fun. Like pings you around. Very much has a lot of forward momentum. So it's really good for sort of throwing you into battles and getting you out of trouble. But you mix all these cards together to make your sort of a character. And there's only 7 in the beta, and only 1 of them is perk based. There's one called a sharpshooter, which, if you get headshots, lowers your cooldown. And everything runs on cooldown. So you don't just have like 1 grenade, throw it and you're done. You have a grenade like every 7 seconds, if you like. It cools down and you get a new one. And the same for things like the Cycler rifle, which is a star card but gives you like a single shot sniper rifle. That has like a 9-second cooldown. I think might be 15. But if you have the sharpshooter card, then you can level it up to 3 levels, and I think the 3rd level is like a 70% reduction in cooldown. Okay. So it gives you an idea of how you sort of can put these cards together to create different things. Obviously, sharpshooter and cycler gives you a very good sniper style class. Sure, yeah. Might be handy as a personal shield, so that might be handy for sort of protecting you while you're getting into position, that sort of thing. Great. It's just there's an interesting kind of mechanics on how you sort of craft a playable entity almost. Yeah, that sounds really interesting. And obviously there's going to be a lot more available after the beta. This is just like a little taste of how the game will play out. Yeah, it's a demo basically. Yeah, you get these 7 cards, 4 guns, and obviously there's stuff in the game you collect. But yeah, these 4 guns, 7 cards, that sort of gives you a taste of how to sort of make something you want to take into battle. And then the rest of it is done like on the battlefield. So there's all these little pickups that will give you access to ships, ATSTs, the hero characters, the AT-AT, which you can't steer, but you can control its head. Yeah. And they're placed according to sort of how important they are. So things like rocket launchers and ammo boosts will be liberally kind of sprinkled around the map. Vehicles less so. And obviously hero characters, there'll only be 1. They appear randomly, and they only appear if there's a slot free. So if all the X-Wings and TIE Fighters are taken, then no power-ups will appear until someone dies. And I've been running along and you just see one pop up in front of you and you get in it. It's a bit like Call of Duty almost. They sort of get down on their knee and act like they're activating something, and then you're in a ship flying over the
Okay.
over the battle.
I mean, there are elements of Battlefield in that, but I think it's grossly unfair to say that it's Battlefield reskin. So tell us a little bit about the hero characters. Did you get to play as either of them?
I didn't play. I saw a brilliant bit where I sort of ran over the sort of the hill on Hoth and sort of jumped down into a trench, just as like Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader sort of came together in front of me. So that was quite nice. So yeah, they're power up based. One power up for each of them will appear, and if there's a slot free. They work on a kind of like a timer, so you have, I think it's how it used to work. It's been so long since I played the original game, but yeah, the timer sort of decreases and is topped up by kills.
Mm-hmm.
So even if you just run around and don't hit anyone, you're supposed to get a couple of minutes as a hero.
Mm-hmm.
You can top that up with kills. They reckon in theory you could sort of extend it indefinitely, but that would require like an incredible amount of luck and skill. But essentially you run around and you have lightsabers if you're Luke. Luke was the only one I saw close up. I know he's got a force push, which is like his ranged attack, because that happened to me. I went running towards him thinking like this is a really bad idea, but shooting, and he just put his hand out and I got blown back and killed. Darth Vader was on my side obviously when I saw him, so I didn't get to really sort of see what he does, but again he's got a lightsaber. And when they do this weird thing when they die or when they sort of run it, they just kind of go into like a meditation pose and they just sort of sit there on the snow, and then eventually they just fade away when they...
Because they can't really die, can they?
No, exactly,
No.
yeah. So they just kind of go like, I'm tired of this now, I'm going to have a little sleep.
I've done enough here.
Yeah,
My work is done.
My work is done.
Yeah. So which of the modes was the one you think people are going to be most excited about?
I think the two multiplayer ones. I mean, Walker Assault is huge. It's like it feels big and it's nice and it's epic. And you know, there's moments where you're running along and you suddenly realise the walker's above you, and you look up and there's these huge legs stomping over you. It looks beautiful, like little sprinkly crystals in the snow. Like I literally stopped to look at the snow because it was so beautifully done. So that's lovely, huge, large. The drop zone one is smaller and sort of more intimate, and you find yourself in little groups of 4 or 5 having little shootouts with other groups on the other side of a canyon. So the multiplayer stuff just feels really nice. The co-op stuff, again, is good. I'm at the point now where I kind of want to see more. I played it to sort of death now, and I really enjoyed it all, and I kind of like, I've extracted all the joy I can have from this. I want more levels. So I'd like to see, I mean, I guess obviously not everyone has played the beta, so it's new for them, but I want to see more now because my kind of hunger is ignited.
Well, there you go. There's 7 things, more like 70 things actually, that you can expect to find in the Star Wars Beta, which begins today on Xbox and on Wednesday on PS4.